Well, people. We are going to react or look into a video by request about Should I Give Up Coding, Can't Find a Job by Stefan Mischuk. I'm so bad, but should I give up coding, can't find a job? I'm not a coder. I'm what you will call a hobbyist, self-taught hobbyist. I did take some CSS courses like 10, 12 years ago. Some Microsoft Basic courses, HTML, HTML5 courses, Photoshop and Word and all of that fucking shit. I have never worked as a coder professionally. I know a lot of people that do. I talk to a lot of people that do. So I may not be the most qualified person to say, oh, this is how you should do this and not do this. But I can talk from someone that have been in the same shoes where I'm like, should I start coding? Should I not start coding? What if I want to make it a job? And so on and so on. Let's see what this chap has to say.
How are you? So you are having a hard time finding a job. You studied code for perhaps 2, 3, even 4 years, I've seen. You studied data structures and algorithms. You've done tons of tutorials. You've done code competitions. But when you go in for the job interview, it's a crash and a burn. What can you do to actually land the job, and what is going on? Why can't you get a job in the first place?
And again, this is what I hear from a lot of people when they come to me, because they see me do bash coding or scripting in my videos, and when I do live stream, they see me dabble a little bit in Python, and for some reason they think I know what the fuck is going on. I don't. I just slam my head to the keyboard and hope it works out. But yeah, a lot of people like this. Like I took this Udemy course, a free code camp course. I did, all the things he said here, but I can't get a job. And I have never been into a job situation or a meeting or a conversation where I had to land a job with coding. So my go-to is always have a body of work to show off. That's what I hear when I talk to people that are looking for coders. If you don't have the certifications, the qualifications like on paper, have something to show off.
In this video, I'm going to give you all the details. All right, first of all, the number one thing prospective employers are looking for is practical experience. It's that catch-22, that classic catch-22, where they want you to have experience, but how can you get experience if you don't have a job? Here's the strategy in a nutshell. You go out there and you do a few projects for free.
Yeah, go. A lot of you guys and girls are Linux fanatics, open source fanatics. Fucking perfect way of getting something on your resume. Find a project that you like. Don't go too big because you can be like drowned out and get not get the work that you want if you're going into like the GNOME project or the KDE project. Find like a smallest project that need a lot of help and help them out, because they are more willing to give you a lot of responsibility and a lot of work, even though you may not be qualified, because they need the development help. So yeah, I couldn't agree more. And it's what I've been told when I have asked people that employ coders.
For some small business. In fact, the type of coding projects you do for free to gain that experience is really not that important, because what you're going to learn as a pro developer, a big part of the job is actually working with a third party, being able to communicate with them.
And this is where I see a lot of fucking coders fall short. I'm sorry to say it. I'm autistic, so I don't do human interaction that well. But oh my God, some of the people that comes and play smart and want, a CEO or a senior coding job when they've been there in 2 weeks or something like that, they can't fucking work with other people. And they think that they are the fucking holy grail of coding. And they forget that it's not just you. You have to work in a team. And a lot of those people end up being freelance coders. And again, they can't understand why they're not getting the big paid job. Even if you're a freelance coder, you still have to deal with people. The sad reality in this world is that most jobs, I don't know if it's sad, but the reality is that most jobs, no matter what the fuck it is, you are going to deal with other people. And if you don't have human skills, if you can't work with other people, you're going to fall short from someone that can.
Gather requirements, execute on those requirements, and deliver something. Even if it's a simple website, if it's a WordPress install, or maybe you're doing a simple credit operations interfacing with PayPal or Stripe. These are all relevant because, again, the employer is looking for your proof that you can actually do the real thing. You have to look at it like this. If you are doing tutorials and code competitions, that's kind of like playing a video game, a car racing video game, versus actually driving a real car.
I couldn't agree more, and I would say it in another way also here, is that all of those, coding tutorials and all that fucking shit that a lot of us, I did a lot of them myself. But think of it a little bit like this. It's like reading a book, and then now you know how to do a thing. So let's say you want to learn C++. And you buy, I actually have the book C++ for Dummies. I haven't read it yet, but I bought it like a year ago. And you read the book, you do the exercises, and when you're done with that, that's it. And now you go and apply for a job as a C++ coder. Again, it's like you said, it's like taking the theory test for driving a car without taking the practical test. And now you think you can drive a car. All of these Zero to Hero, which I fucking hate those Zero to Hero fucking videos. They should not be called Zero to Hero. They should be called minimum or basic introductions into X, Y, and Z. Because when you watch the Zero to Hero, you know maybe a little bit more than someone that can do Hello World. That's it. You need practical experience.
Driving a real car, racing a real race, is actually building something for real, which is a very different thing than playing a video game, right? That's tutorials. See, the problem with tutorials is that you're just following along. You're not actually exercising real coding developer skills.
So I would say this now is, I don't know if he gets into this later on, but what I did was I took the tutorials, and this is what I tell a lot of hobbyists to do if they just want to code for fun. So I had a problem I needed to fix with Linux. I needed a program to do something for me in Linux, in Python and in Bash. So I learned the skills, the basic skills, the 101s, the basic Python, basic Bash with those tutorials. And then I tried to fix the problem. And I recommend do that because if you're trying to fix a problem you need to be fixed for yourself, you're more motivated than going and just doing something that you're not passionate about, that you're not interested in. But if you don't have a problem to fix, go and talk to, small projects and help them out.
A big part about being a developer is being able to break down problems into simple components that you can execute on with code. Doesn't matter the language, whether it's JavaScript, C#, Java, Python, PHP, not Ruby. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that you execute on the requirements of the project. And that is that's probably the number one reason why you can't get a job, is because you've actually never built anything for real. You have to build something for real. Mm-hmm. Again, let me emphasize, when I say you have to build something for real, it doesn't mean you have to build the next Facebook or the next Instagram. It could be simple little projects. And in fact, with my mentees, I have them build whatever. It doesn't really matter. I say, go out there, go see a local independent coffee shop, a local independent garage, a painter, whatever. Put up their website, update their website, help them structure their social media and interface with Shopify. Mm-hmm. This is all relevant.
It's a really great advice here. It looks like he has a course that you can, a boot camp and stuff like that. My opinion on boot camps and development fostering groups or whatever the fuck you will call it, they rarely work. They're just money grabs. If you go into, if someone wants to sell you this spiel here that, join my X, Y, and Z and it will help you get better jobs and it will help you grow better and it will help you understand the world better or give you in better positions and stuff like that, you have to remember they are teaching maybe thousands of people. It's too generalized, man. It's too fucking generalized. And another thing is, if they don't want to be a mentor for you for free, you have to pay them to be your mentor. They are not invested in you. They don't care about you. They may say they do, but they don't. I can't fucking remember. It was a really, really big thing like 10, 15 years ago, where they got a lot of fucking smart people with development and stuff like that, and then they put them into basically an echo chamber and try and manifest some amazing products, and almost all of it fucking fell to the ground because, yeah, a lot of things. And it is based like this here, like, if you have to pay someone to be their mentor, they are not really that invested into you. Okay, and they are probably also mentoring a shit ton of other people. So a lot of the advice could be good advice, but a lot of the advice that you get is generalized advice, because if he has to fucking mentor 5, 10 people, maybe doable. If he has to mentor hundreds, thousands of people, not doable. So it's just like a cookie cutter, do these steps, and yes, they may help you a little bit, and you may be a little bit more prepared than me, for example. But don't waste money on that fucking shit. Find someone of his quality of character and industry knowledge that wants to mentor you for free.
Again, to emphasize, the work that you actually do is not relevant. The fact that you can talk to these people, extract requirements, break it down, put something together that's functional, that is the key. Let me comment on the need for algorithms and data structures. This is one of the big myths out there in the YouTube land. Just because Google wants people to do algorithms and data structures and maybe some other fangs, the fact of the matter is, in day-to-day software development, 99.999% of software development, algorithms and data structures are pretty much irrelevant. There may be some businesses out there that will test you for that.
I can attest to this. I've talked to a lot of developers in my lifetime, and I haven't heard many of them talking about algorithms and data structures like he talked about here. It's just being honest here. The only time when I hear algorithms is with social media and cryptocurrencies and stuff like that. Web development, when I talk to web developers, not really. Programmers, yeah, maybe some AI if you're a game developer and stuff like that, but for the most part, not really.
Perhaps, but I would think that's a minority. The other mistake that people make when looking for jobs is they're noobs, fresh out of the coder boot camps, and with little to no experience, and they start applying for high-end jobs.
Yeah, that's a pet peeve of mine. Don't do that. Know your fucking place. And I think he's going to say the same here. And it's the same with the Zero to Hero fucking videos that you see on YouTube. I have seen so many people take those fucking Zero to Heroes, like 10, 15 hours, 20 hours courses. And now they're like, why am I not a senior developer? Why can't I get like $100,000 a month job or something? I'm all exaggerating. I'm a motherfucker right now. Like, you don't have the experience, man. People nowadays, they don't want to work for anything. And they don't understand that even if you think you're smart, there are probably 10,000 other people that are smarter than you and know more than you with this subject that you just learned. Get the basics done, then go and work your way up the fucking ladder like everyone else in the world. Okay? You have to fucking work for shit.
At huge organizations. Yeah, it's like coming out of the gym, done a bunch of pad work, maybe 1 or 2 sparring matches, and expect to fight Mike Tyson for the title your first time out.
I can fucking ram him, man. I'm so fat I just sit on him. He's done. He would probably kick me out of the fucking world.
The reality of the situation is that with developers, most of the training is actually on the job. Let me say that again. Most of the training is literally on the job.
And again, that's also something that I have heard people talk about. So I've been to some, I will not call it courses, but seminars, I think you will call it, where people that have hired thousands of people, hundreds of people, talking about why they hired someone. And a lot of one of the common denominator with those is this person trainable? So they may, so let's put up a scenario here. You have a person that just know every fucking thing. He may even have a lot of experience. But the company that he's wants to work for are doing things in a little bit different way. And this dude, he's just set in his way. He wants to do this, he wants to use this, he wants to do it that way, and blah. You can't train him. Then you have Billy Bob from the streets that have practical experience, don't have the credentials and stuff like that, but he's willing to learn. He's willing to go the extra mile. He's willing to go to some extra courses. He's willing going to the training programs. He will not sit and bitch about, I've been a developer for 20 years. Why should I take this introduction course to how we code in this company? You know, he's like, yeah, fine, I do this. If that gives me the job and I have to sit and listen to a fucking fool running his mouth for 20 minutes 2 times a week, yeah, I do that. He gets the job because he's trainable. A lot of people, and again, this is not just coding, a lot of people that want a good job or want a job in general don't get it because they are not trainable, on top of not having practical experience and all that fucking shit. But a lot of them are looking at, are they trainable? I personally have got jobs I should not have been gotten just because they deemed me to be more trainable than other people. Meaning that I actually actively under the interview said that I was willing to go to these things. I was willing to take these courses to get the job. Showing a want to not fit in, but to learn the way of the company. You need to be learnable, trainable.
The key to this game is to get your foot in the door at some entry-level job. Doesn't matter what it is. Mm-hmm. As long as it's coding, you want to get your foot in the door, because on the job, you're going to see your learning will go like this. And as you start to learn, your salary will go up. So the key to the whole software development.
I will say this, and this is something I have experienced in my life also, is that some companies, they want to teach you, they want to learn you, like he says, and qualify you within the company, but they don't want to pay you. So if someone is like, hey, do you want to take this course so you can take more responsibility, or do you want to up-qualify to this so you can take more responsibility and do more qualified work? Always make sure that you get paid for it. Because a lot of companies, they will happily pay for your education, but they will still pay your entry-level fucking salary.
Development career, the secret sauce, is to get your foot in the door as quickly as possible. Mm-hmm. Start learning, start earning, and what you'll see is that your value as a developer will increase exponentially over the first year or two. And as a result, you'll see that your salary will start to increase as well. Mm-hmm. The big salary gains are made in the first 3 to 4 years. So you start seeing a jump after the first year, a big jump after the second year, a big jump after the third. You get the idea. So those first few years is where you're really learning your craft.
So why are they doing that? Again, this is not just coding, this is everywhere else in the world. Normally when you start a job, you kind of have like a training period. Then you settle in. I think I think like the average time it takes to train someone from the ground up to be as efficient as someone that have done the job for a couple of years. It takes like 6 months to a year, depending on what kind of job it is and how advanced it is and stuff like that. But I think the overall notion is that after 6 months, you are like 80-90% as efficient as someone that worked there 1 or 2 years. After a year, you should be 100% as efficient as someone that worked there. So depending on how fast you learn, how much more you can do than they expected, how much trainable you are, how well you fit in with the company culture. This is a big thing also. Do you fit in with the company culture? All of these fucking things, you will see a lot of fucking salary increased.
You're developing your skills, you're developing your reputation. Once you get past that hurdle of getting that first job, doing that first year of development, then the game becomes much easier for you, because then you will have a really nice resume, a nice proven track record. So if you are a permanent student, you keep on doing tutorials, you keep on doing code competitions, which to me is a total waste of time.
Yeah.
Instead, focus on getting a job. So to end...
And again, like I said, with me doing finding a problem I need to solve, that was because I took one course after another. I watched one fucking Python video after another. I watched a lot of fucking shit, took a lot of free courses, but never did anything, applying it to anything.
In this video, I want to talk about the job of getting a job. A lot of people think that they'll learn how to code and then Bob's your uncle, bing, bang, boom, you're going to get a job like this. It doesn't work that way.
Nope.
The process of getting a job is a learned process as well. You have to assume you're going to have many failures, you're going to have to go to many interviews, and you're going to get rejected a lot of times. That's normal, par for the course, as they say out here in North America. So here are the steps you should take when applying for jobs. Number one, study your target business that you're applying to before making the application.
A really good tip here, I used to do this a lot when I was applying for jobs. A lot of times you go into a foyer and they sit you down waiting for the HR person to come. If there is literature on the table or anywhere like that talks about the company or the things they do, sit and read those. So let's say you're a mechanic and it's a Ford dealership. Read the newest brochure of the latest Ford, or if it's a coding job, read about the software that they do so you are informed, and also ask them questions related to their company. Don't just ask them general, a general Python question. Let's say they want a Python developer. Don't just sit and ask generalized Python questions. Ask a question that's related to Python and their job, and how do you know that? By studying their software. And also, when they are asking you a question, try and answer it like you were already employed. How this could benefit them. This is what I would do with what I've seen from your code and stuff like that. Talk already like you was an employee. A lot of people they don't like this, but this is what I tend to say to people when they're going to apply for a job. Going to apply for a job, you're basically the salesperson for yourself. You're trying to sell yourself to someone else. So you need to do a lot of the same tactics as a salesman is going to do to sell your vacuum cleaner or fucking flying dildo or something like that. You're going to sell yourself.
Understand their business. Understand the technologies they're using. Make sure that your skill sets and your resume aligns with what they are doing. So if you're applying to a company that's doing a lot of React work, as an example, make sure you have some React work you can show. Make sure you restructure your resume so React is at the top, not buried down low. That's number one. Number two, if and when you get an interview, be sure to follow up with them, or after they follow up with you and they say, we're not interested. Follow up and say, listen, what was the reason why you did not take me as the candidate? Let me know. Please let me know what I was lacking. And most people don't answer back. Take that as free information. You can build upon that.
A lot of people, when they don't get a job, they see it as a failure. It's not a failure. And they see it as a personal attack. Oh my God, I'm not good enough for you, so fuck you. And they get angry and stuff like that. You learn from failure. You learn from not getting what you want. And a lot of people in today's society seem to forget that. So every failure, every fall, every I didn't get it is a learning experience. You can learn so much from things not happening to you than you do from things happening to you. When we don't get what we want, when we do get into failure, that's where we grow the most. Getting a pat on the back and get everything we want and never being told no, we never really evolve.
If they come back to you and not make a job offer, then you don't have to do that, of course. But if they don't make the offer and they come back to you, then ask that question, because that's good.
I've done it anyway. Got hired and I asked them, why did you hire me? I've done it. After got the job, been working there for 6 months, I'm like, why did you hire me? You can ask that also even if you got the job.
To help you to refine your skills in terms of job interviews, and you figure out where you're lacking overall, and so you can work on that. Final tip, wait for them to get back to you. Don't start hounding them and chasing them after that interview. They'll get back to you, whether it's positive or negative. Better be patient. Here's my final tip. Apply to more than one job at a time. Don't fall in love with a job prospect. Apply here and apply there and apply over here and apply over there. Doesn't matter. If you're lucky enough and you get more than one offer, fantastic. You can play them off each other.
That's amazing. I've done that also a lot of times. Anyway, he's done here. Yeah, it's an interesting video. Like I said, I used to watch this dude a lot, but I'm a little bit neutral with him because like having a mentor program kind of puts me off. You know, a lot of the things that is going on here, it's webinar, free 20-minute video, lizard wizard course. He's trying to sell you something. Okay, he's trying to sell you something. I'm not saying that just because someone's trying to sell you something, you should not listen to them, but be aware of it. He is not here to give you advice because he likes you or care about you or want you the best. He's here to get you to buy into the membership, mentoring program, the career tips path, and he's here to get you into all of these fucking things here. That's why he's here. That don't mean you can't learn. That don't mean you should not listen. It means you need to be aware of it. Again, listen to the videos. If you get something out of it, it's great. Don't sign up for anything. Don't sign up for anything. Maybe I should make a video why you should not sign up for mentoring programs and boot camps and stuff like that. Because they rarely work. They may work for like 2 or 5% of the users. Why? Because it's too generalized. Anyway, he's here to sell you something. Great advice, but he's here to sell you something. See you all later. Bye bye.